everybody, welcome to the Fallout Wasteland Warfare Battle Reports. Today I'm back with a new episode, adding some of the new rules and featuring some of the cool new stuff that's in Fallout Wasteland Warfare. So today, we're going to take a look at the AI rules for solo play. Now this was something that was really popular in the late 80s and early 90s, was miniature board games that allowed you the option of playing it by yourself. Some good examples of that would be things like Advanced Space Crusade or Space Hulk from Games Workshop that all had solo play rules and really sort of, I guess, they allowed for like a just as much of a cool sort of like cinematic solo experience as they did for a PvP experience, and also a cooperative experience. So these AI rules for Fallout Wasteland Warfare are designed for exactly that. Either you can play the game by yourself, or you and a friend can take control of one faction and play sort of against the computer. Now what it uses is a AI card for every model in the game. So every model has a card of its sort of stat lines and what its abilities are, and then on top of that an AI card of what it will do in any given scenario. So it's kind of neat. It works off of the proprietary dice mechanic. And uses some sort of double blind stuff for deployment, and I guess a bit like the robots in Rogue Trader, a sort of if and sort of like it's like a branching decision tree for when they do things based on how wounded they are. So for the freakier guys, when they get injured, they might go berserk and get mad and charge you. For the scaredy guys, they might run away. And every model in the game has sort of a pre-programmed set of like their behaviors in combat. So this is exciting. We're going to use it. You can use the AI rules on any scenario too. So it's not like there's specific AI scenarios for the game. I'm actually going to jump right into scenario number 3 from our ongoing narrative introduction and stuff, and play the pumping station. And this is, sorry, it's a water treatment plant, not the pumping station. It has a pumping station, water treatment plant. Basically, it's been very dry in the wasteland, and as they set up their settlement, Nora and the survivors require more water. Their crops are failing, and of course they're having a hard time drinking. But the problem is that the old water treatment plant that might be able to be repaired to get water to the settlement is deep in the super mutant territory. And Ram, who's the biggest, strongest of the patrol leaders for the super mutants, notices the human entering the area and attacks. So this will feature, we're rolling all the rules together as we go. So this is going to feature the wasteland deck in the wasteland area. So there will be items on the board that can be interacted with, and you can scavenge and find things during the game. And on top of that, some new things which are computer terminals and interactable items that we can turn on. So there'll be some computer terminals to operate the actual water treatment plant, and some generators that will allow us to not have to use a computer terminal and will automatically pump water. So the humans are trying to pump 30,000 gallons of water back to the settlement, and they'll call it a win in a day and they'll leave. And the super mutants are trying to capture these folks because the enslaved tech that was with them, that was keeping all their guns and stuff working, had escaped the following week, and he's turned up with the survivors, basically. He's led them back to this place. This is where they got the intel from. If they can capture him, he's worth 2 models. Otherwise, they're trying to capture 4 models, and capture means take out in melee. And if they do so, and the 30,000 gallons aren't pumped by the end of the game, then they will win. Otherwise, the survivors will get off of the water and be happily back in their settlement before the sun goes down. So we'll share the table. We'll give you a brief overview of the AI rules, and we'll get this underway. All right, so here's our table set up for the water treatment plant scenario, and everything except for setting up the super mutants is done, because that's where, because I don't have an opponent, the AI stuff starts to kick in. So for this mission, we have Sole Survivor Day 1, Nora, with some jet and a 10mm pistol, Dogme with his dog bite, 2 settlers with an assault rifle and a single nuka cherry, an enslaved tech with sturdy leather armor and a combat shotgun. And because he is free, if this faction is a survivor, replace this card's title with free tech and +1 endurance and +1 to their armor. So he's actually armor 2 and endurance 4, which is nice. And then we've numbered, so the first thing you have to do is when you lay out your opponents, you have to number them. So our Brute Ram here is number 1, and this is his AI card. He's got Psycho, a Nuka-Cola, and a Sledgehammer. 2 and 3 are the 2 super mutants, each with a bolt-action pipe rifle, 1 blood pack, and a board. And then 4 is our super mutant hound. We have 1 of them with the hound bite. And then we have their AI cards. So these are really simple. Basically, the top here's the wound track, and every time you activate one, you're going to roll the blue die to see what they do. So the blue die will give you results. So this is 2 stars. So on 1 star, he would, at 5+ wounds, do an A, which is attack. And because he's on the top, the bottom there, 2 stars, he's the lower attack value. Now he only has melee stuff, so he's always going to try and melee. An attack, you have to use some common sense typically, but attack means he's going to target first the nearest model. So he'll move towards the nearest model and try and attack it. Then if there is no nearest model, it'll be whatever the healthiest model is. And number 3 is the best chance. So whoever he has the best chance of hitting. If he'd rolled a single star, it would be the same thing. It would always be an attack. A better example might be these folks, which is the regular super mutants. If they roll 2 stars, they're going to attack and try and go towards the nearest model to do so. If they roll 2 of these, though, which is the Nuka-Colas, they would try and do an objective and shoot while doing so. So going towards whatever the objective is, which would be to try and capture someone in melee and use their guns, because they'd use whatever the lower of the 2 types of actions are, depending if they roll 1 or 2 Nuka-Colas or 1 or 2 of these. And this is always attack, and it's underlined there, which means they always try and do it as the closest and quickest way possible. And then it goes to who do they attack? Wounded first, then weakest, then nearest. And that's their order of priority for when they do things. And so now for deployment, because it's AI, and because I'm playing against myself here, what I do is we have our numbered folks here. We will take the numbered tokens with the little blind things here, and we will randomly put 1 on each side of the table. So you deploy as normal, and in this case the scenario is all of the survivors here are deployed inside the pump station area, which is demarked by 1, 2, 3, 4 computer terminals. And then the super mutants are deployed in 2 different zones, so on either side of the table. Deployment zone 1, deployment zone 2. So actually all edges for the super mutants. And so what we'll do is we'll put 1 on each edge, make them surrounded, and I don't know which is which until they're actually deployed. Of course, they have to be within orange of that board edge. Finally, there are 10 searchable markers on the table, and 2 other, I'm using terminal markers here because actually you're supposed to use the wrench markers from the searchable items, but then you don't have enough wrenches to actually go into this pool of items. These are the 2 generators, and they can be turned on. So during the course of the game, we can interact with the computer terminal, and that means you have to have someone with a computer skill, and they make a test. And if they pass, they immediately pump, I think it's 6,000 gallons of water. And each additional pass after that pumps an additional 1,000 gallons. Unless the tech is in the area, though, because he's like maintaining all the equipment, we lose 2,000 gallons of water from whatever we pump the first time we try and pump. So he has to stay in this zone to do it. Now, if one of my survivors can get to one of the generators and turn it on, from then on, after they've interacted with it, 5,000 gallons will get pumped automatically each round. This game's going to last 6 rounds. We have 6 rounds to try and complete this, so 2 more rounds than our previous sort of learning games had. So now we're going to reveal where each of the super mutants is. So this is going to be number 4, so it's our hound with an orange. Over here we have number 2, which is one of the super mutants with pipe rifle with an orange. Over here we have number 1, which is Ram the Brute, and he'll be within orange of the edge. That means this is our last super mutant over here. They do have the least number of models, because there's 5 models on the human side, the survivor side. The super mutants will go first. Now, after we've deployed our models, these actually get placed in a pool next to the table to randomly see who activates each round. Now we start our AR game with turn 1, and of course they have the advantage. The super mutants can choose to ready a model, and they will activate automatically, so there's no readying and going for the AI team. You can still do it as the player, but they will just activate immediately. So number 2, so one of the super mutants, and I believe that was this one over here. So we roll a die and see what he does. He is going to, sorry, and you always count this as a star. If you roll the double, it counts as a single star instead. So he will attack and try and attack in melee, and that means he'll go towards the woundedest thing. There's no wounded thing, then the weakest thing. The weakest thing in this case would be one of the settlers, not Nora, and he'll make a double move. So he'll go yellow, and then he could attempt to charge, but he's going to have to go up that rough terrain to do so. And of course he's going to have to go the slower distance, not red, but he'll still make it going yellow. And that means he will get a charge bonus of a green and yellow die the next time he activates, but he's done. Black and green, sorry. And he is finished. So it goes over to the survivors and they can attempt to do something. Well, let's keep it simple. We'll have the enslaved tech go. He's already in contact with one of the computer terminals. So he will attempt to, he'll ready, and then he'll attempt to activate that computer terminal. So his computer skill is 8 because he is a super sweet free tech now. Intelligence 8, so he'll make a test. Does he pass? He does. All right, so he's interacted. That means we will automatically pump 6,000 gallons. So we'll turn our little dial over here to a 6. Whoop. And this will keep track of thousands of gallons. And that's what we've pumped. Now he does have a combat shotgun, so for his second action, he's going to try and wing a shot into yon mutant hound, who is probably going to charge him quite soon. He has to stay inside the pumping area, so this is all he's going to get to do. Now he has a perception of 3, and there's 2 pieces of terrain in the way, so he's at perception -1, which means he's probably not going to be able to hit. Another option is shooting Ram, who's got one piece of forest in the way, and that's probably a better chance. He's still only perception 1 in this case, but he might get lucky. So the combat shotgun has red as a short range and blue as a long range, and no bonus dice. So it's going to be in long range. He just has to crank a 1 in his test or a crit. Come on, combat shotgun. Nope, auto fail. He is finished. Alright, it's over to the super mutants, and they will have Ram go. Uh-oh. Well, Ram gets to make a move. See what he does. Rolling on his chart, it's going to be a bottle, which is objective. So he's going to try and go towards the slave tech, because that's the biggest thing to capture right now. Now he has a move of yellow move, green charge. He's got a super big charge. So yellow will push him out to here. And then he can charge green, which even though we're going over rough terrain, become red, which would be lots of room. He'll charge into here. He has battle cry, and that means we have to make an opposed battle cry test to see if it can be resisted. Now, an opposed skill test means that each party tries to roll under their skill. So in this case, strength 8. Can he do so? He does with a successful 7. The tech has a charisma with battle cry resist of 3. And he completely flubs it. So that means that when this is done, he's battle cried. He'll be able to be pushed yellow, and he cannot react to any of these actions when the charge tech goes off. All right, well, second skill done. So it's over to the man, the legend, Dogme, and I think he's just gonna charge Mr. the Hammer. He normally charges red, I'm sorry, blue rather, which means he'll charge red when he makes this first charge action. And in he goes, bark, bark. He does not have battle cry, but he does get the extra blue, green and black die for a charge. And he has a yellow, green, blue already. Oh, Dogme, you're so insanely dangerous. All right, so he's agility 8. So he's trying to roll an 8 or less to hit old Ram there. And he rolls a 9, but with -3, so it does go through. It becomes a 6 and hits. He also gets a Nuka and a star and an extra damage. So he's going to be damage 3. Oops, damage 3. He's going to Nuka to break an arm, and then star for a quick action. Use that quick action to move, or he can use his quick actions to go on to reactive. He'll go into reactive. That's going to be 3 damage on Ram. And he's crippled. He's got his arm bit. So he has to make an armor check now. Now Ram's armor is 2 physical, so 2 or less. He passes and reduces it by 1. So he only takes 2 damage. That now puts us back to the super mutants. Let's grab and see who's going next. Number 4 will be the Mutant Hound. So we have to roll and see what his AI tree says he's going to do. It'll be attack, and it's going to be the stabby icon. It'll be nearest. So I think it's actually this fellow over here. He's going to try and run over and attack it. He has move red and then charge blue. And I think that'll do it. So move red to here and then charge blue, but move red will allow us to go up the difficult terrain. And he's going to charge. Does not have battle cry, so can't stop this from happening, but he will get the charge bonus when he gets to fight. Things are getting pretty dangerous looking. So with our settlers now engaged, Nora and the other settler have to decide what they want to do. It's looking pretty sporty over here. Now, Nora can shoot blue range with her 10mm pistol, and I think this fella's already in range. No, he's just out. She's going to have to move. It's worth a try as he's in the open, so just moving to stand over here, so he'll be in range, and that will be an orange move because it's through difficult terrain. She'll then pop some shots off. Before she takes the action, though, she's going to pop her jet, and jet is a instant, so whenever you pop a thing like a usable item or a drug, it can be done before or after an action, a lot like picking up a thing, and you place it under their card so that stat effects go down. And what jet does, it doesn't give you any stat bonuses. What it does do is it diminishes each round, so it's going to slide over as the turns go by. So to start off with, she's going to gain a quick action. I'll let her go reactive at the end of this. She's also going to gain, they're all cumulative, so she's also going to gain the ability to make move reactions as opposed to just, so she can do a move quick action. Actually, so that's actually really cool. So what she could do is she could go, start of her first turn, she could go pop this, take the quick action to make that free move she just did, and now she'll have 2 actions to shoot with and be reactive when all this is over. It goes into bullet time, basically. So she'll be in reactive when this is over. That quick action to move was free, and then she's going to pop 2 sets of shots with her 10mm pistol. It's green-black and her stat die. He's in the open over there, and she is perception 5, so 5 or less to try and plug this super mutant. And she fails, but gets another quick action. Not that that's gonna, actually she could move again if she wanted to. Does she want to? She doesn't want to get charged. No, she'll save it for a second. Take a second shot. That's a critical hit and +2 damage. Holy moly. All right, so she's going to damage 4. She gains a critical point. Serbian's going to have to make a test. So he is endurance 1. And he fails, so he takes all 4 of those damage. All right, so it's back to the super mutants. Nora having a spectacular jet-fueled exciting adventure. And of course, the last one here will be number 3, which just got shot at. So let's see what he does. It's gonna be a Nuka-Cola bottle, which is try and stab. So he's gonna run forward. And even though he's got 3 or less life left, 3 or less life left is objective, which means try and capture someone melee. So it's still gonna be try and stab. Priorities go wounded, weakest, nearest. Nobody's wounded, so it's going to be weakest, and that'll be probably the settler over there. Make his first move over to here, and that's going to trigger reactive on old Nora, and she's going to plug a shot. So drop her reactive state. She's within blue, but there's a piece of scenery in the way now because you resolve his action first, and that means she'll be shooting at perception 3 into this fella. Same dice though. It will be green, black, and the stat dice on a 3 or less. And she gets an auto fail, misses. No line of sight to his target, so he can't make a charge, but he can move again and head towards it. All right, and off he goes. So it's on to the survivors again, and that settler in particular. All right, well, we're going to pop around the corner here, or we could try and interact with the computer. We can see the super mutant around the corner here through this gap. So I think we interact with it. Wow. Now let's shoot first and see how it goes. Assault rifle, perception 6 with an assault rifle. It'll be green, and black plus stat die, down to perception 4 though because of the train in the way. Actually, we're both contacting it, so I'm not sure what happens there. And again, it looks like she just ignores it because it's touching her base. So she's peering through, she's leaning through, and she takes the shot, and she critically hits and does an extra damage. So 3 damage there, and she gets to fill her critical meter by 1. And I think regardless of if he passes or not, although he does, I think, get the armor bonus from this. I'm not sure, because he's touching it. We'll see what happens. Is it relevant? It's not, because he only blocks 1 of the damage, even though he passes, and that will kill him. The second action available, she could shoot into combat with the tech and Dogme, but that's getting dicey, so she's going to make a stat check with her intelligence of 4 to try and do a computer interaction. And she passes with a crit again, and that means she pumps an extra, I think it's 1,000? It goes to 7,000, and then fills her critical meter twice from all that extra good work she did. Serbians are all done, so it's just this lone poor dude over here fighting a hound. I think he's going to try and hit the hound with his assault rifle in melee. So the hound's going to count as being in cover, and he'll be -2 to his perception, which means he'll be perception 4. Basically, you fire as if you're in cover with the assault rifle. But it is still going to be black-green stat die versus a perception of 4 into the hound. And totally misses with a 10. And he'll try again with the second action. And hit this time for an extra damage and an armor crack. So 3 damage into the hound. And I think everyone's activated out at this point, so it goes on to round 2. So 7,000 gallons of the 30,000 needed pumped. 1 super mutant down, but things are getting a little sporty over here. So unfortunately for the humans, the super mutants automatically have the initiative here, and they put their little pool of counters back together. And we'll see who's going to go first. It's going to be 3. And 3 is this super mutant over here. So he counted as charging, but let's see what his behavior is for this round. Well, he is in melee. Double lantern, so that's going to be, normally would be to shoot, and he's in melee, so I guess he's going to try and use his bolt action pipe rifle in melee. Which is terrible because he's perception 4. Whoopsie! He'll try and take that out of action, and he's the weakest, so he falls into the damage tree here. So he's going to shoot at perception 2. He will get the bonus dice, so he gets a bonus green and black for having charged this past round. And let's see if he can do it with all the mods that are going to go in here. Come on, super mutant. Well, he does. He gets an auto success because he rolls that, which means he'll also get a quick action. It gets +1 damage, 1 armor crack, and this, which doesn't trigger anything, I don't think, on a bolt action rifle. No. So damage 3 with an armor crack, which will offset the boost he has, but not the bonus he has for being in melee and using a close combat weapon. So armor 2 on the survivor. He fails, takes all 3 of those damage, also loses his armor boost. And I totally forgot, the super mutant ability is actually that they can use their melee stat when they use guns in close combat, which is funny because
that's a skill that they actually have as a faction. So he was actually hitting on his strength there, which was 6 or less. Not that it mattered because he rolled a 1. And he's going to try again with his second action. Same roll, not charging now. So just the bolt action. Oh, I had a yellow dice in that last one too. Did it matter? Nah, just cracked his armor again, which he already failed. So it's green, yellow stat die for the Serbian for the second action. And he fails with a 10 this time around, even with all those stacked up mods, but he will go reactive at the end. All right, what's over to the survivors? I think we have no choice but to have this settler go and try and kill this hound before it kills him. So as a quick action, these guys do have a Nuka Cherry, which they could use, and I think we will. We're gonna chug the Nuka Cherry as a quick action, which we think gets discarded. And instead of having 3 damage on him, which would be him almost dead, he'll have 1 radiation instead. Radiation is like damage that can't be healed by healing items, unless they specifically do it. But things like Radaway can take it off. So he's gonna plug his assault rifle into that hound and be at -2. So his perception of 6 goes down to 4. And of course he has a black and a green die in melee there. And he will hit, gain a quick action, and be just damage 2. Does the hound make it save? So the hound has a couple damage on him already. I think 3. Does he make a save? He does for 1 and takes 1 damage. It can take 5 total. And that means he's got 1 left. Oh, he's got to do it with the second roll now. He will be reactive though, which will be handy. He will try again with his stat die plus a black and a green. And totally fail, but gain another quick action he can't do anything with because he's already reactive. All right, does the hound go? Let's see who is going to be. It is, oops, 2, which is the other Serbian. Oh, that shouldn't even be in there. That Serbian's dead. It is 1, which is going to be Ram. Oh, Ram. Ram counts as charging. He didn't cause the battle cry on Dogme, so Dogme can't lose his reactive here, and he really wants to kill this tech. So he's gonna do the charge. So with his big hammer, well, so actually let's roll and see what he does first. I think he just fights. It'll be a star, which counts as attack, because he's still healthy. So with a strength of 8, and a sledgehammer giving him 2 yellows, he'll also get a green and a black from the charge. What happens? That is absolutely a hit, and it's a hit with a 2 plus 1 damage and 2 armor cracks. So with the sturdy leather armor he has on, he will get 0 armor right now, but he has a boost, so he will get 1. So can he make a 1 or less? He cannot. He takes all 3 damage. And does Ram kill him with the second hit? Because he's gonna swing again and go for that sweet, oh geez, 8 or less. He gets a 10 and he fails. Miraculously alive. Now the trigger, which I could have actually done in the last attack on Dogmeat, will be to fight. So Dogmeat's gonna take a bite on him. And Dogmeat's no longer charging, but he's got a green, a blue, and a yellow, because Dogmeat's just amazing. And does he hit him? With a 2 he certainly does. Cracks his armor twice. Oh, and he was actually -2 to hit. He rolled low enough it didn't matter. But I forgot he's got a -2 penalty on him because his arm's all beat up. Dogmeat has a 1 he rolls because of his roll there. He can trigger a quick action to go reactive again. That's so funny. Oh no, you can't get reactive back on reactions actually. But he has to crack armor twice. So no armor on the brute. He'll take 2 damage. 2 more damage and go to 4. He can't go back into reactive being reactive. And we have to put that -2 marker down him as well. His arm's all banged up. And that is Ram having gone. Oh, geez, he's gonna die. He's gonna die if this hound goes, and this hound is totally going next. Nora? Oh, so Nora's chems go down by 1. So all she gets now is, she has a, if she gets a, she can do a maneuver for an action. So the hound's in range. I think we have to risk it. So shooting into melee is actually kind of hilarious, because you get +2 to hit, because it's such a big, swirling, monstrous thing. Let's see if we can do it. We have to try and kill this hound right now, or we're not gonna survive, I don't think. So let's see if we can do it. It is +2 to Soul Survivor's perception of 5, so 7 or less. And that's a hit with a 5 and an armor crack, but we don't actually know who the target is yet. So when you actually hit afterwards, then you randomize to see who you hit. Starting with the target, you go 1, 2, 3, and then you basically have 4 results total, and you roll the armor dice. So on a 1 or a 4, it's going to hit the intended target. On a 2 or a 3, it's going to hit one of these 2 guys. And we roll a 3. Now I plugged my own guy. Well, we plugged him for an armor crack. Super sweet. And he's already used his armor boost, which means he's armor 1. And he fails, so he takes 2 more damage. He's got 1 left because he's got a radiation on him. That's what happens, kids, when your group's led by a drug-fueled maniac. It's all gone horribly wrong. Do we try again? Hell yeah, we try again. Let's do it. And we crit and fill up our crit meter by 1. And then it's also going to be a lamp, which does, sorry, a Nuka bottle, which does nothing. Who do we hit? So same as before. 1 or 4, it's going to be the Hound. 1, we hit the Hound, hooray! So he has to make an armor roll. He's armor 1 or 2 damage. He does 1, which blocks 1, takes 1 damage, but he only has 5 endurance, and that will kill the Hound. Yeah, before he gets the charge. Good job, Nora, you drug-crazed maniac. It's whistling, leaving on a jet plane, because that's what she's doing. That means the super mutants are all done, and so we go back over to, I think, the enslaved tech. Try and shotgun into melee. So, unfortunately, so I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, it counts as a melee attack, so you wouldn't have to randomize. Yeah, because as soon as you're using a gun in melee, I was afraid he was also engaged. So it's not really a ranged attack, it's actually a melee attack using your gun stat. So it's going to be a, where is it? Perception of 3, but he gets, nope, no bonuses, so he's perception 1 right now. And he gets 2 extra black dice because he's using a combat shotgun. Let's see if we can kill old Hammer here. So the first one misses. The second one, super misses. He's finished, so it's just our settler left, and she's the only person that can try and pump the water this time round. Or round 2 is going to be a wash. So come on and pump the water there, settler. She needs to roll an intelligence of 4. And she fails. She's going to try again. And I don't know what that is. Potato, try again. Nope, she's going to fail. And she's done. No water pumped this round as the super mutants basically like take over the zone. Round 3, we've killed some super mutants. They still have the advantage though, and things are looking pretty grim based on the fact that that we're about to lose our tech, I'm pretty sure, so they get to go first. So let's see who goes first. There's 2 choices here. It's the super mutant or, nope, not Ram. So the super mutant's gonna go. He's gonna try and murderize this poor pleb. Yeah, so he was laying 1 hit, but let's roll his behavior and see what happens. It's a star. He's not wounded, so a star is just attack in melee. He uses his board this time. He'd actually be better off using the other one, but whatever. He's just using his board. See what he does. His strength is 6. And he crushes that guy for 2. Can he make his save? Actually, it doesn't even matter, because he only has 1 armor right now. Nope, but he fails it, and that makes he's dead, and that's a capture for the super mutants. And a second action now. So he'll go after wounded, and that means he's probably going to end up trying to move. He moves normally a grand total of yellow, but it's going to be orange this time around. So he'll head down here, poof, which will give him some cover from Nora, and be done. Being the priority, that is the tech who is closest. All right, well, it's tempting to go with Nora and the settler with their full critical meters. I think we have to go with Dogme to try and save this guy. As we all know, Dogme is the goodest boy. And, oh, sorry, he has 2 armor boosts on him right now because he's personality. So he is agility 8 and he gets just all the dice. He gets yellow, green, blue to try and bite Mr. Ram here. And he gets a crit, cracking an armor. And also a Nuka bottle, can't be reacted against. Doesn't have a reaction dice, doesn't really matter. But it will crack his armor from 2 down to 1. And the brute saves 1. So he'll only take 1 damage, but if critical meter fills up by 1 for Dogme. Ram gets to go again, or sorry, Dogme gets to go again and try and do that hit. Try and kill Ram. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Nope, it's not going to be the case. He misses. Oh no, he hits with an 8, yep. Does crack an armor, so does Ram make his armor save? He does again, takes 1 more damage. He's got 2 left. Well, Ram's going to have to go, because Ram's the only super mutant remaining. Let's see what Ram's behavior is when he only has 2 wounds left. So with 1 to 2 wounds left, he rolls double star, which means melee attack, and try and complete the objective, which will be to melee, of course, the person he's trying to capture here, which is the tech. So he has 2 actions. I think the first thing he's going to do, though, is he's going to huff some Psycho, or going to eat some Nuka-Cola. He'll probably drink some... Oh, he's going to huff the Psycho? Let's do the Nuka-Cola first. Nuka-Cola is going to give him a quick action as well. And so he'll go 3 heals. Whoop, and then gain a rad. So he's at half health now. And he'll take a swing. Sledgehammer, he's double yellow. And try to roll under an 8 for his strength. And he does, cracking this armor. So armor goes down to 1. So armor test of 1. Fails with a 2. That's going to kill him. So the tech is worth 2 in melee for captured. Captured, we mean beaten bloody unconscious. That means his second swing, he can huff some Psycho! Which he would do. And he'll gain an armor and a plus black, so he gains 2 armor boosts. and a black die in melee. He's going to hit the goodest boy. All right, well, the goodest boy is going to take a black die in melee, and then 2 yellows, and see what happens here, under an 8. Oh, Ram's mad. So Ram cracks 2 armor, does 3 damage, and hits. Oh, no, he doesn't hit, because he needs a 6 right now, because his arm's broke. But he did go reactive at the end of that. Well, it's Nora and the Settler. The Settler really needs to work this terminal right now. 4 or less. Does it. And gains a quick action. So the Settling's been pumped now, which means we get another 6,000. But it's only 4,000 because our tech is gone, and he has to maintain the waterworks. So we go to 11. If you like to win this thing, Nora really needs to go turn on one of these consoles. So yeah, I think the shooting of the guns is going to come down to you, lady. She's going to try and shoot in a melee, I think, with brick. No, we could shoot over here actually too with our thing, but our assault rifle's only good at red. Yeah, I think we have to shoot in a melee. See if we can do it. The goodest boy will be okay. So assault rifle is going to be green, black at red range. And no cover in the way. 7 goes to 6 because of the -1, -2 goes to 5, 4. So it's a hit. And who does it hit though? So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 back and forth. 1's gonna hit Ram. Ram right now is at armor +1, so he is grand total of 3 armor, 3 or less. 1 only blocks 1 of it, takes the damage. So he goes to 4 damage and a rad. Sorry, he's immune to rads because he's a super mutant. I forgot about that. He actually is completely immune to radiation, which means he just doesn't care about radiation damage. Old super mutants, they're the best. Does he want to react to that? He's not going to. He's going to wait for Dogme. All right, everyone is gone on the super mutant side, so it's just Nora left. She's going to hop off this thing, which will only be orange as she climbs down, and then move yellow towards this because we need to start getting the generators going. And she will do a free reaction now because that's all she has left on her track for her chem craze. Looks like turn 3 on to turn 4 with 3 captures. If Ram takes out Dogme, they'll win the game unless the Settlers can get their 30,000 gallons of water pumped. So it is over to the super mutants first. They have the advantage. Let's see what's what. Whoop. 3, it's going to be the super mutant. What does he do on his AI tree? He rolls a Nuka-Cola, which will be go for an objective, and then it'll be wounded first, followed by weakest, followed by nearest. Both of these folks have the crazy things, so it's going to go to nearest, which is going to be dog meat. It'll be a yellow into the soup, and then it's difficult terrain, so it's a yellow again. Oh no, weakest would actually be the Settler. So it'd be yellow into the soup this way, and then yellow into the soup again. No, because we can't charge. It's gonna be orange. Yes, because we couldn't end in it and go yellow, so it'll be orange to go over to here and just be in cover. And the survivors get to go. All right, Dogme, you gotta kill this big guy. You're gonna do it. We do that though, because if we just wait, yeah, I think we just wait actually, and we use the Settler. She'll interact with the computer, try and pump some more water. And fail. She can try again. We have to do this turn. We fail again. Really needed that. Alright, so it's going to be Ram. Ram's going to go automatically. What does he do? He rolls a Nuka-Cola bottle, which on his tree is objective, which will be take people out of action. That's his primary objective. So he's going to try and kill Dogmeat again. And he is 1 armor boost down, which means he goes to black. And 2 yellows for his melee attack. Trying to hit Dogmeat. And hits him, cracks 2 armor and does 3 damage. So Dogmeat still has an armor boost, but he's cracked 2 of it, so he has an armor of 1. And he passes, so he only takes 2 damage. But he has 8 total. Second attack going at him from the Psycho. And that'll hit, causing a critical as well, and cracking 1 armor this time. And he fails his armor roll because his armor became 2. So he'll take 2 damage again. Ram will gain a critical point here. And Dogmeat can react, sorry to that first one actually, and bite him back. So Dogmeat probably won't kill him with his bite back, so it shouldn't be a huge deal. He is hitting with green, blue, yellow, but he'll spend his reaction to do this, get a free attack. Gain a critical, and hit him, and cause You can't get that on reaction. He's already got that. Can't be reacted against, so it's just a critical point. And he breaks his armor by 1. So armor boosted to 3, becomes 2. Nope, fails it, takes 2 damage. Ram back up to 6 damage. And it's Dogmeat's go now. Alright, Dogmeat, kill him. Finish him off. Bite him right in the ram. 6 will hit, and with double Nuka-Colas, can't be reacted against, but you can't react anyway. So armor boosted to 3. Passes and takes 1. He's got 1 left. Does Dogme hit him again? He does with armor crack. And he doesn't block any of it. So that means Mr. Ram is dead. We've got problems. If one more survivor goes out of action and we don't get the 30,000 pumped, the Serbians win this no matter what. Nora gets to go. Her reaction couldn't be used because nothing was in perception range of her anyway. So she's going to walk over to here, whoops, and just be in base-to-base with this. And attempt to turn it on. All right, let's see if we can do it. And 8 is a fail. She's only intelligence 5. Turn 5. Things aren't looking good. All right. So down to here for this, and Nora's expires. So when a chem ends, we have to see what happens. If we roll the symbol on the cards, if I roll a star on here, she's gonna become addicted. She does not become addicted. So if I had become addicted, I'd be -2 agility, because when it expired, she'd be craving more. All right, 3 survivors remain and just 1 super mutant, so he's gonna go first. Let's see what his behavior is. It's gonna be a Nuka-Cola, which is objective. Try and take someone out in melee. So that's gonna be real simple. We're gonna charge Dogmeat. Go get him. And it'll be a melee attack, as it was the single one rolled, which is going to get a bonus of green and black. And be 1 block normally because it's a board. Let's see what happens to old Dogmeat. Oh dear, well it's a hit, strength 6, becomes a 4, no special effects, but cracks armor by 1. Dogmeat has 1 boost remaining. Oh, no boost remaining actually, he got hit twice. So he's just armor 1. Let's see if he can make it. Passes by 1, so he'll take 1 damage. 5 on old Dogmeat. All right, well, it's back over to the survivors. They get all their actions. Nora, can you start this thing? We have to get 19 more. And 5 she'll pass, which means this gets turned on. Automatically pump 5,000 gallons at the end of this round. And then she's got to move back towards this computer and try and get ready to pump more next turn. All right, survivor, you need to pump this. She does. She succeeds. So she pumps 4,000 gallons, up to 15 now, because we have our very special tech gone, unfortunately. He's left the building. She can try and plug into melee, but we can't do that. Because if we, well, it might not be a terrible idea. No, we can't leave the computer. We're just gonna ready, just in case something goes wrong. End of the round, the generator automatically pumps 5,000, which takes us to 20. And it's gonna be so close. It's gonna require some perfect rolls. Basically have to get 2 more computer pushes during round 6, or this all goes terribly wrong. And if Dogmeat goes down, the super mutants will win. So, end of the round. Let's see what happens. We still have priority on the, or start of the round. We still have priority or advantage to the super mutants, because only 1 of them left. And let's see what behavior he does. Oh, end of the round. We forgot super mutants he gets attacked actually by Dogmeat. I had 1 activation left. So end of last round, Dogme gets to fight. I just killed this guy. Does he hit him? He does with 2 armor cracks, which means he'll just take 2 damage. He'll attack him again. And hit him again with a star, which gives him a quick action, which means he can go reactive at the end of this. The super mutant makes his armor roll. He does not and takes 2 more. He's got 2 left. Alright, so now start of the round, the super mutant can go first. And swing. And he's no longer charging, so he's just going to get a black plus a die unless he rolls the shoot. He rolls a star, so in this case, it's going to be a melee attack. Let's see what happens. Does he make the stabs? So it'll be black plus stat die, rolling for a 6 here. And getting it, so that's going to be 2 damage. This will kill, no, will not quite kill Dogmeat if he doesn't fail his roll. If he does fail his roll and takes 2 more, which means he goes to a grand total. He's at 5 on him, he takes 2 more, he's at 7. And this second swing might just kill him. Does he hit? 6 or less? He does not, so he misses. When Dogmeat got to fight back before that happened, because Dogmeat has a reaction on him. Does Dogmeat kill him? Oh jeez, I think he does. Cracks his armor and just dies. 3 damage. That last attack didn't even happen. Alright, so this is turn 6. It will be a draw unless we get perfect rolls here. Can the survivor pump the water? Does not, and does not, just totally fails. And then Nora is going to be unable to do the full move here, so she'll get over to it. And then she has to make her intelligence test on 1 roll. Where we didn't pump 20. We were pumped 20 instead of 30. We pass! But we only get the 4,000, not the full amount. Which means we go to, whoops, 10 goes to, that's 20. So we get 4 out of this, goes to 24. And then end of the round, we get to 29 because of the generator pumping. 3 captures for the super mutant and 29,000 gallons of water pumped. It's basically a draw between the super mutants and the survivors. Neither one got their objective at the end of the game, and it was super duper close. One more intelligence test, and we would have actually made it. If she'd passed 1, it would have gone right to 30 and been barely a victory.
So there you go, look at the AI rules for Fallout Wasteland Warfare. Now I really enjoyed that. It was really cool being able to just sort of set up and play a game for myself. But I think it would be equally cool if I had someone playing cooperatively with me as we tried to outsmart the computer, and it was super close. The super mutants did exactly what you'd think they'd do in the video game, which is run towards you, try and hit you with nails, shoot you up close, take prisoners, beat people down, and generally act like giant radiation-fueled killing machines that they are. So I highly recommend it. Big congrats to Modifius for a job well done on that, because I think that it's kind of a missing niche in the market right now, and there are tons of hobbyists out there that might be interested in playing Fallout Wasteland Warfare, but not sure who they're going to play it with. I think this really overcomes that objection and helps people to just collect and build and paint the miniatures they like. And for me, of course, that is the most important thing. So we'll see if more Fallout Wasteland Warfare in the future. We're going to be introducing heroic units and the last sort of layer of cool rules that we haven't seen yet before we move on to a campaign and some settlement stuff. So I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you for more Fallout in 2 weeks. Till I'm Ash. Happy gaming. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below to get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirts, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Death Ray Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.